Hey, Honest Birth Talk people. We wanted to introduce someone today. We're really excited. This is our tech bestie. She kind of makes sure everything goes well. And this is Twyla.
Hi. Good morning, Twyla.
The other thing Twyla does, which is pretty amazing, is she's a birth photographer. So, Seattle area people, this is your new birth photography bestie.
Yes.
So she has Maple Hollow Photography,
Yeah.
but really we love her because she manages our tech and teaches us techie ninja things that we don't know how she does it. So we're very thankful.
Smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors. This is she.
Got it. Awesome. All right, so we thought we would share with you guys some really funny stories about our support people in birth, aka in our case, dads. There isn't some magic handbook that prepares dads for everything that comes with birth. And to be honest with you, even childbirth classes focus mainly on what's going to happen to mom while she gives birth. But, there's been some interesting positions and places that dads have found themselves in during the birth or pregnancy or postpartum process. You guys want to share first?
Well, okay. So for mine, when we had the home birth, so with the C-section, with the twins, it was kind of like very whisk away the babies and not a lot going on, and he was more just like floored. But with the home birth, since it happened with no one really arriving in time, except our friend, Gwen arrived on time, but he was a little freaked out, but totally held it down with by not letting me know he was freaked out. But later on, he would say that like he was totally mortified and was like, "Oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna just have to. She's in so much pain. How do I stop the pain? And I'm just gonna take her to the hospital, even though she doesn't want to go." And then I would say our funny story is whenever the twins were a baby and went to the pediatrician. They strip them down, they did to weigh them, and one of them started to poop, and he thought that maybe you shouldn't just let the baby poop on the table. So
No.
Yep, this is what happened. A lot of this, and then now what? So I don't think that there's anything probably any worse than that. Like, hey, God, my baby's pooping now, I don't know what to do.
Solid.
It's not, no, it was totally, and this was him, it was like his hands came up and he was looking at me and then he looked at her and he's like, okay.
See, that's something people don't tell you in childbirth class. Don't catch your baby's poop. Just
right. Don't do that. The paper. Yeah, there's diapers and there's paper on the table for those types of situations that they throw away. Like they don't expect you to catch their poop.
No.
So just know. It's okay.
All right, so I shared this story with you girls last night, but now I'm going to share it with the whole world, and my husband is going to be mortified. But I think some important lessons to be had here. When I had Bryden 13, almost 14 years ago, nobody told us what we needed after the birth. I was completely prepared, had an amazing birth story. But after when I came home with this little baby and trying to breastfeed, I had no idea what to do, and neither did my husband. The only thing he knew was that every night I was bawling my eyes out, and I was sore and frustrated because of the breastfeeding situation, because he was basically, I felt like, ripping me apart. I just was very uncomfortable. So anyways, I sent him to the store. I talked to my childbirth instructor. I realized it was not via text message because that did not exist back then.
Too long ago.
I think it was AOL Messenger or maybe a good old-fashioned phone call. But anyways, I sent Alfred to Walmart and said, "I need you to get me nipple cream." And he's like, "Okay, so is it going to say like nipple cream on the package?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just need it, and I need it right now, and you need to go get it, and I'm dying." And so he ran out the door, and I ended up giving him an even longer list, like pads the size of, what do you refer to them as? Boats. And nipple cream and all sorts of stuff. And anyways, he calls me from Walmart and he's walking up and down the aisles and he says, I can't find it. I don't know what you're looking for. I'm really sorry. I don't think they have it. I'm like, yes, they do. They have it. You have to find it right now. So he finds somebody to ask. And this lady, for whatever reason, was feeling extra cruel that night and decided to get on decided to get on the intercom and call him out.
Poor guy.
On aisle 5, looking for nipple cream. Can someone assist the man on aisle 5 looking for nipple cream? And he was mortified. He's like, I don't know if I want to run away. Because mind you, he was in his very early 20s at this point. Pilot training student, you know, all this macho.
Like, I'm cool. Now I'm on aisle 5.
Now we're on aisle 5 being called out looking for nipple cream. And so anyways, needless to say, he came home and gave me that nipple cream and was pretty upset about it.
I'm never going back again. Get your own nipple cream.
So, lesson learned, I always take, when I go to baby showers, I no longer, well, sometimes I'll get them the cute stuff, but I always give them a little postpartum basket.
Yeah.
Something that they need postpartums to save their support people from having that same experience.
Absolutely. That's my thing too, is I always take coconut oil, like I even get the breast frozen packs that are like shaped like the boobies, because those are awesome. And no one ever gives those. Like, they're like, what's this? And I'm like, oh, you're going to call me. You're going to say thank you.
You're ones that are hot and cold, so you can make them hot or cold.
I love those.
I mean, now that I've had 3 children, I realized that I really didn't need the Lancino nipple cream. But at the first child, I thought it was like, you know, that's all I needed, and I would be okay.
Yeah, I think as you go farther with births and the breastfeeding experiences, you learn kind of why that's happening and how to adjust. But absolutely, it saves nipples. Save them, and you want to save them, because if it's super preserving them is good, because if it's super bad, you're gonna quit. So definitely have that on hand so that you can provide some sort of remedy. This is me and Twyla sitting on the same chair, and we're like, right.
Well, I'm not. I don't know.
We are little. Take them back.
I'll speak for myself. I'm not little.
And she's drinking out of the cup she got me.
Yeah.
Is that stealing?
No, I found it.
Well, I found that cup up in Ruidoso, and I went to go back to get it, and the store was closed.
She's like, look what I found, and I said you have to get it.
We'll get it.
Yeah.
Twyla, do you have any funny stories to share?
No, I was thinking about it, and I really don't. I probably have just like awkward. I was really awkward, especially when my family came. And I said to my dad and my brother, like with 0 clothes on, I'm sorry, this is just how it's going to be. Because they were here when Adeline was just born. And so that was really, now that I look back at it, I thought I was like a free mom. And it turns out I just was naked a lot. So maybe think about a cover up, or like, I don't know.
Prepare them before they show up.
I just know that maybe I might not have any clothes on for like days. And I might not move from this spot on the couch.
But that brings up a great point, Twyla, because sometimes it's best we all think that we need the family to come immediately, but sometimes depending on your personality, or, you know, if you've had a baby and you're learning how to breastfeed or what, maybe it's good to postpone them a little bit so that you have that time. You can't just walk around your house.
And free.
Oh, I did. I felt, I had to bring in a lactation consultant. I mean, there was a lot of people, aside from like my birth people, there was a lot of people that saw me. And I feel like maybe I could have been a little bit more sensitive about that, but I just feel like if you know your body and you know your baby, and if you really want breastfeeding to happen, then get everyone else, and it's just you and your baby, and coconut oil is what saves me.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, the cover up stressed me out because that was
exactly.
I had to
and then you're trying to do this. Like, who can put the baby on when they're just learning to nurse with this thing all over? Like, you can't. It's so frustrating. I was like,
yeah, it was really liberating once I said, you know what, forget it. I am in a restaurant, I'm in a library, I'm in a store. It doesn't matter to me. This cover up is not happening because it's frustrating. And then once that happened, I was like, breathe.
Exactly.
And some people want to be covered, and that's great. I think some of the covers work better than others. And like, if you're having to really like look under and pull it out, and it just becomes really frustrating, and that might not be the right.
Yeah.
You know, some of my friends, instead of using covers, they would just put on a loose, like a nursing tank top, and then a cardigan, like the looser cardigans, and then just once they got baby latched, if they felt more comfortable being covered,
they just
the cardigan. Like, I remember seeing one of my friends do that, and I'm like, oh, that
works. I wear the scarves a lot because then you can undo the scarf and just kind of lay it over, and it's not so heavy. And you know, if you were in a place where you felt a little more, just a little draped, not like all over them. But
I always just felt what was awkward was my tummy. Your postpartum tummy. So I even to this day, 2 years later, I'm not nursing, or 2.5, I'm not nursing anymore, but I still wear a tank top underneath. And then you just
pull out.
And then you're covered on the top and the bottoms. You don't feel awkward. And there's a little bit of coverage so people can't freak out about you showing too much skin.
I agree with the tummy thing, because when you just have nothing on and you pull all the way up, then your tummy's exposed and you're like not loving your postpartum body probably. So I would just go to Old Navy and buy the long tunic cardigan or camis. That's what they are. And they're cheap because I didn't want to spend all the money because I bought good nursing bras, but I didn't want to buy the nursing tanks. So I bought them from Old Navy. I still have them, and just bought a bunch of black ones, and just that way it kind of keeps everything in, and then you just do the old pull up and down.
All right, so embarrassing story number 2, since we're talking about and again, I shared this with you guys last night. When I had my third child, making your own baby food seemed to be kind of like the popular thing to do.
Right.
And, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a try. My mom had bought me a baby bullet for, I don't know, I think it was my birthday. And so I spent all this time in the kitchen, and I made sweet potatoes and leeks, and I put some breast milk in it, and I put them all in these little containers, and I was so proud of myself. And my husband, I think, was working a shift schedule, so I didn't always see him when he left for work. And so I got up the next day. He comes home and he says, "Oh, Michaela, what was that stuff that you made? And you had it in the little containers in the fridge. It was so good." And my face just went, "Oh, you ate the baby food." The funniest story that he kept raving about it. And then once I realized that the prime ingredient to this baby was my breast milk, he was maybe a little mortified and didn't ask me to make that again.
No, I'm sure. I can imagine. Although, you know, there was all that rage in the UK where they had like breast milk ice cream. Do you remember that? Yeah. This was a couple of years ago. Oh yeah. And then there's actually, now they're like powdering breast milk for bodybuilders.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because it builds muscle.
I feel like there's babies that could use it.
Right. But there are moms who are selling their breast milk to this like sports company that is making it for bodybuilders.
I mean, there's no denying that breast milk is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So you know, this is a little immune boosting. It's like that emergency, you know. Right. It was in sweet potatoes and leeks. So
it is a good point, though, that we are the only animal that drinks another animal's milk.
Yeah, we are the only species that drinks another species' milk. You don't see the kangaroo going to the dairy cow. So, yeah. So it does. It brings up a good point, that it's really pretty amazing. And if you choose to breastfeed your kid until they're whatever age, then more power to you. And I think society really needs to let go of like what you do. Like, especially I feel like the moms who are shamed for breastfeeding for too long. It's like, why is it too long? It's totally.
There shouldn't be shaming for anything. If you bottle feed your baby, that's what's best for you. If you breastfeed your baby, that's what's best for you too. I mean, my motivation to breastfeed in the beginning was strictly, I think, before I knew anything about the health benefits, but was that it was free. You know, we were very young and didn't have a whole lot of money in the bank account. And so breastfeeding was something that we both decided I was going to try, and he was going to support me 100% because we didn't have to pay for it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And whatever you choose, good for you.
Ultimately, fed is best.
Fed is best. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that support really helps breastfeeding moms just to know, like, it's okay that you don't understand what you're doing and baby has no clue what they're doing for like the first 3 weeks.
Well,
They
were just born.
They were like, they're not going to come out just absolutely knowing exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, so give them a minute.
Yeah,
give yourself a minute.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, with Bryden, you know, I remember being so stressed out in the hospital because I had to write down every time I nursed him and how long for, and it had to be 15 minutes on both sides. And, you know, and then after the second and third child, I finally realized I just nursed based off of what felt right to me and the baby.
Right.
So,
or my favorite is, well, they don't need to nurse because they just nursed. And I'm like, maybe they do. Maybe it's comfort. Maybe they're hungry. Maybe they're not. Maybe they just want to know that you're there. Like, it's okay. You don't have to be so stressed out, because immediately a mom thinks if they want to breastfeed again, well, I'm not making enough milk. And it's like, no. They use it for comfort. They use it just to make sure you're okay. And maybe they didn't get quite full because their stomach's this big.
Right.
In the beginning. Maybe they thought they were full, but a little bit was air. And now they want to like top it off. It's okay.
Or they're just tired because they're newborn babies. And they, you know, especially immediately after, they were an active participant in the birth process. So they were exhausted from laboring. So are they. So it's very normal for babies to sleep quite a bit those first few days because they're catching up from the birth process.
Right. They were participating too. So if you were in labor for 2 days, they were too. They were part of that. Well, they just want to sleep.
Even before, because they do a lot of work inside before they come out.
Right. So they're getting into position, and that's a lot of work, and they're just itty bitty. So I think we put a lot of pressure on moms and babies, like expectations. Like, you should be nursing every half hour, every hour. And it's like, no.
Well, even dads, there's a lot of pressure for them to support and know what you need. And those things just don't happen. You have to be able to communicate to your support person to say, this nursing thing isn't working right now. I need you to take the baby so that I can take a minute, so that I can try again, or I need to sleep for an hour or whatever, but you need to be able to communicate that to them.
Right, and not be defensive or feel.
You should know.
Exactly.
So they're not mind readers. As much as it would be amazing if they were, because that would solve a lot of my problems.
It would be so amazing.
Like, my life would be complete. Right. I didn't have to explain everything. Yeah. Like 4 times.
Exactly.
Again.
Yeah, again. And again. Yeah.
So if you guys have learned anything during this fun live, it's write down your funny stories and remember those funny moments that your support people are involved in, because I still love telling them all these years later.
Well, it makes you normal.
It makes you normal. And if people aren't telling you those stories, or if they're totally like, oh, everything was great.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Not true. No,
it's
not me.
Go back.
Find a different vlog.
Yeah.
Find a different person to follow on Instagram, because that's not real.
And then also that breastfeeding is hard, but you know, be supportive of one another and communicate.
Yeah.
So if you guys are watching this in the replay, put hashtag replay, and give our tech bestie a shout out.
Say, check Bestie. We're so glad that she's here and she can help us because, well, I mean,
It's not everyone's gift.
it's not my gift. It's not my gift at
Not
all.
our gift.
Yeah, well, and we have some exciting news about what she's been working on. I mean, come on, our site is now, what's the word? Live. Our site is live. It's gonna have some finishing touches and some little tweaks, and it's gonna be just shoosed up, but it is there, and it has been a labor of love for this girl.
Yeah. You're official.
We're official. We're Facebook official and like internet official. So check out our website, honestbirthtalk.com, and let us have a read. And yeah, it's cool. So.
Yeah. All right, so comment below with any questions, comments, concerns, any stories, anything you'd like to share with us. This is Sunday Morning Coffee Talk with the Birth Besties and our Tech Bestie.
And Tech Bestie. Yay, bye.
We will see you on Thursday.
Bye.
Bye. Hold on, I gotta figure out how to stop it.
Gotta turn off live.
I know, I just can't see it.
You can do it. It's a button.
It's a button.
It's the Tech Bestie. I can help.
I found it.